Diana, the podcast. This is our second podcast of 2020. Again, hello, welcome to Ideas with Diana, the podcast. This is our second podcast of 2020. And to our listeners and viewers worldwide and in the EU, we'd like to welcome you. Normally, we're on WIPZ from 3 to 4 p.m. Central Time, US. However, due to management issues that have occurred since September of 2019. We were not able to broadcast our live show today on WIPZ, and we don't know if we'll be able to continue to broadcast on WIPZ as there's been a communications breakdown. So, what we're planning to do is we're planning to have a podcast with Ron and Nikita coming in on Tuesday, January 21st, and we'll have our new time will be Tuesdays 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time US, and it'll be live on YouTube, so you can watch it as you're watching it now on YouTube. Some of the topics we were planning to discuss today was one of them was a topic that Ron researched, is actually about Illinois, and regarding Illinois, Ron found out that from one article, Smart paper, the Smart Leader, that there are many people who are moving out of Illinois faster than actually New York and California, which is quite amazing because when you think about that, though, um, Illinois has always been about twice the size or three times the size of Wisconsin, but now people are moving Wisconsin, from Illinois, moving Wisconsin, Missouri, Indiana, but more towards Wisconsin. Or many people moving out of Cook County and Chicago, which is really not surprising because when you consider 20% sales tax, a high condo rents, hyper competitive culture, overly packed metro trains. It's not the same type of metro that I took during the 80s when I used to go down and when two friends of my father and mother, one who taught at Parkside and one who taught at Northwestern, used to take the metro down. In those days, it was $2 to take the metro down to Evanston on Davis Street to teach at Northwestern. Now it's about $10 and $15 one way to go to Chicago. And you add that with incomes that haven't increased really since 1979, you get the picture why people want to move out of the high cost district in that though. Another topic we're going to bring up today was also about regarding the impeachment. The impeachment is going to be starting Wednesday, and I guess based on the campaign strategy, what some of the candidates are going to do that are senators running for president will be that they'll be taking private jets at night to go to various campaign stops and fly back that night to be ready to attend their duties in impeachment in the morning. Quite a hectic schedule. Talk about taking the red eye. I mean, I did that to Boston on my first trip as a researcher, and you think basically you can get used to it, but your body. Well, for me, going from the Midwest to Boston, that was a little bit of a time shift. I actually do better when I fly basically from Midwest to the West Coast. I don't have the time shift actually, but I do have when I go to the East Coast. So it'll be interesting to see how this comes about. But the biggest issue that's going to come out is what about how is how are people going to handle basically regarding witnesses and other things? What's going to happen? Will people really um, have the ability to question witnesses, or is this just going to be a deposition only? Because if this is a deposition only, then what happens though? It comes out to basically that this will mean that the impeachment will become basically a little bit of a farce if it's just a deposition. And the thing about it is though is it's a case where you really need what's what's going to happen with the impeachment, because when you do think about the impeachment, really we really that though, and that on this impeachment thing, because no one really wants to consider basically like the French Revolution, where it was like the Tale of Two Cities, where you had sort of like the people from the French Revolution going after all the nobles, even though many of them were not affected, but were not part of the grief that they caused to some of the people in the French Revolution, which became the basis of A Tale of Two Cities. And the Scarra Pimpernel in the book as well. We don't want to go back to a time of Robespierre. That's why I think we do have to call witnesses, or if we're not going to call witnesses, then based upon if something did occur, then maybe a censure. But if we're really going to go do an impeachment, we got to make sure we call witnesses. We got to make sure we do this Perry Mason like the old black and white Perry Mason, where basically, he had his executive assistant, he had his private detective who actually got the facts, but also on the prosecuting side, there was Berger, who was also an experienced attorney and professional like Perry Mason, because there were times that they both agreed on a case. However, they were working based on a strict practice of professionalism. And that's what we need to really see. The third topic we're going to talk about today on today's show was regarding about Brexit. Last night I had a chance to listen to the Brexit cast that was done a few days ago, and they talked a little bit about the new European president who has come into office, and she seems to have a pretty steady head on her shoulders compared to the last one, who sort of seemed like a teacher or a professor that the students would rebel against, because basically being too stern, I mean, you have to have flexibility when you're talking about issues. So the new European president, I assume, is from the Netherlands. Seems like a very good head on her shoulders person. She and with the Prime Minister of England basically works on this sequentially, because sometimes you can't do everything all at once, and it is good to do a sequential. So certain issues like the Irish border and other things have not been forgotten. They're part of the queue, but like they said, we need to do something sequentially and also do things gradually, so that people who do business between UK and the EU or UK and Ireland are not caught in a lurch on January 31st at 1100 hours, as they'd say across the pond, or as we'd say 11 a.m. In that London time. So that is about let's see, 4 a.m. Central Time and 5 a.m. in New York. So people asking for the Brexit parties. What we're planning to do is normally we have a wine and cheese party on Saturdays, but we're going to move it to Friday. And we're actually going to have Derby Port Wine and Cheese as a special cheese for a wine and cheese party, in honor that basically that Brexit will go smoothly, and that the other sequential things will go smoothly as well afterwards. My hope is to everyone in the EU that it will go better afterwards. Well, now our next podcast is going to be Tuesday, January 21st, 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time US on YouTube. And also you can go to YouTube by just going to YouTube and Diana 1K2, and you can find the podcast on there. In addition, we're still keeping our Twitter program site with Ideas with Diana. We'll let you know about how things go in the future with WIPZ, but we're planning to do more podcasts and move the podcast, because we are not sure basically as to how well with what's going on, because like I said, we've had a communications breakdown. So we're planning to do more podcasts. In the next podcast, Lon and Nikita will be present. As you see me now, I'm started doing the podcast while I'm at my apartment, so lounging in that. So, but we will be dressed formally when we do our other podcast. Well, let us know what you think, and to those that are in the UK with Brexit, hopefully by January 31st, we'll be able to move on and forward from this, and also maybe to a better future. So. Until the next podcast, we'll see you then.